Okay, and we are live to AfterCol, the Big Brother Columbus after show, where we are celebrating the finale of Big Brother Columbus 7 and the first ever female winner. Congratulations to Sabrina. We will talk to her in a little bit, but first we are going to go through talking to everybody in the order of elimination. And further ado, I would like to introduce our first guest. Has been a true flop star in competitions, but she was a confessional queen. Hello, Taimika. How are you doing? uh, welcome to AfterCall. Taimika, I want to ask your game because you had so many people in the final six wanting to take you to the final two. No audio for Taimika. One sec. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna ask you again. I think people were having trouble hearing you. They can now. So I was just asking. Can you repeat what you said? So from the final six, because you had Matt wanting you in a final, potentially in a final two, Jack wanting you potentially in a final two, me wanting you in a final two, Sabrina wanting you in a final two.
Matt wanted me in the final
Oh, maybe
two.
Matt
That's new
did.
to me.
Sorry, but Jack, Sabrina, and me all had said at
Well, I'm like,
one point or another wanting you
back
in a final two.
out long time. Matt wanted me out long time ago, so I knew he didn't want me in the final two. I think the reason why they wanted me in the final two because they knew I was easy to beat or whatever. Because I was quote unquote a floater. So I guess they felt like they can easily beat me in the final two.
Yes. Why do you think that is? Were you aware of that perception when you were in the house? We may Tamika's okay. Tamika, were you aware of that perception of you when you were in the house?
No, because
What?
I didn't really think I had a perception like that um because I was cool with everybody, I guess, and I'm trying to get somewhere where y'all can hear me really good. And it's dark. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I guess because I guess because I was good with everybody, so I don't know why that perception was like that. Because, like I said, we had the first five. I was cool with Trevor. I was cool with Robert. I was cool with Nikki. Like the people that was outside of the alliance. So I was cool with mostly every only person I really wasn't cool with was like Justine and Jenna.
Mm-hmm.
And the only people I went like cool with. But everybody else I'm
Yeah.
cool with. So I think because I like HOH or whatever, so that was on me. Because I couldn't win any HOH.
What was your final two end game plan?
Um my final two game plan was always with Sabrina. Like Sabrina was my girl from day one. I wanted us to like go as far as possible. Like she was my final from day. Like I was like, I got you, and and hopefully you have me. And on day one, she got that. So that was my final two right there. Even though I was not probably her final two, but
Yeah. Well, you made a final two deal with Jack, and you made a final two deal with me as well. I don't know if that was shown in the show. Um,
oh, I better follow you. Oh, damn.
yeah, I thought you were good for that too.
I know that we did that in the last minute because Jack knew, like, okay, I can't go to the end with Sabrina, Nathan, or Ewok. So the only person he knew that, oh, okay, I can beat her. I'm gonna take her to the final two. So I was like, okay, you want to take me? Hey, did nobody else want to take me? So he was the first person like actually said it out of his mouth, like, hey, Tamika, I want to take you to final two. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna roll with you. I'm gonna, I'm gonna have your back or whatever. So I would have went. Maybe I went to the final two with him. Who knows?
Hey, yeah, it was a lot of unknowns. Well, at that Final Four HOH, if you had won, who would you have gotten out at that Final Four?
If I would have won that POV,
Yep.
I would have left. I would have went to the final three with Sabrina and you, Nathan,
Okay.
because we made that pact of saying, okay, us three going to the final three. So I would have did the same thing he did to me, voting him out too.
Yeah. And he told. So I want to go back to when he was after he won that veto. I know he told you. How did that conversation go after post veto? How did that conversation go? Did you try convincing him to keep you, or?
Uh, he was like, I gave him my spiel. I was like, that you can beat me and you can't beat Sabrina at all.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Um, like you might as well go ahead and take me because you and Nathan can really beat me in the final two. Like in the part one, part two, whatever HOHs, y'all can beat me. Y'all can't beat Sabrina. So I was telling him like, okay, you can just bring me. But then he was like, I'm gonna take Sabrina. And I was like, okay, fine with me. No sweat off my back. It's just that you lost a jury vote with me because we were so. I mean, I knew he was close to Sabrina too. Like all three of us was close in that house. We were the first five. So I don't even stop talking about the first five because I guess I was the only one like hype about the first five and like you know
Yeah, you were
I
the
don't know.
biggest. You were probably the biggest proponent of the first five alliance. Were you always loyal to the first five, or did you have an exit strategy? Did you have other?
I was all I was always loyal to the first five, but I also had like other people that were outside the first five. Like I voted out people that I could have like potentially went far with too, like Trevor, like Nikki, like you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, Nathan. It all was like wanted me to work with him.
I think we're having
We're
some
just
Wi-Fi connection
together.
issues here.
Okay. Huh?
I think we're having some Wi-Fi connection issues, but I think I got your gist from the last question. I want to ask you, talk about when Matt nominated you, because I feel like that was a big moment in your game,
Yeah.
especially in regards to how you were navigating alongside the first five. What changed your game?
Oh, it changed it. It opened my eyes up a whole lot. It like really opened my eyes up. I'm like, okay, there's other people like Jenna and Rachel and Jack, and you're gonna pick me out of all people because you close with other people, and I'm like, I had your back through the whole thing. So that would once he did that, I was like, fuck the first five. Let me go try to really talk to other people outside of that, which I was already doing in the beginning. I was like, you know what, Matt gonna get his. It's gonna be karma, and he's gonna need my vote, and I'm gonna be like, fuck you, and I'm gonna vote your ass out. Period.
Yeah, I don't blame you for feeling that. I mean, it was definitely evident that like he burned you pretty bad, like strategically and kind of personally too. Um,
Yeah, he was like, oh, close to. I could have went to Jenna. I could have went to Nate. I was talking to them, but I wasn't like really aligned with like Jenna, and I knew Jenna was aligned with Nate, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can't do that. So I'm gonna just lay back and do my own thing. I didn't have to have a number one or a number two or a number three like everybody else. Like
Yeah.
they had y'all have to have y'all number one and number two. I didn't have to have a number one or number two because I came in that game by myself and I was gonna get voted out by myself. So it was like, hey, it is what it is. Like, I know my moral was I was gonna stick to me being super loyal to the people that came to me first, and which was y'all, and I was gonna take it from there. And then if I don't like jumping and be like, okay, I'm going this line to like jump ship and be like, okay, I'm gonna go to work with this person, work with that person. I was making connections. I was friends with people, max.
um, so Tamika, I want to ask. So we don't need to go over numbers or anything, but I know you were the oldest house guest this season. What was that like for you to be with someone like Jack, who is fresh out of preschool, playing this game?
Oh my God, I was like, okay, do I really want to tell my age? Do I want to lie about it? Because I really did not want to be the oldest one, because you know how that is. Like in Real Big Brother, they always try to target the oldest one in the house. So I was like, do I really want to tell my age?
Especially
Because,
early, like you.
first I had to wait. Like I had to see who was all there, and I'm like, I'm not telling. And when I seen like y'all were more younger than me, I was like, oh, okay, now I really have to like maybe downplay my age and like try to fit in, and that's what I did. I was like, I'm not telling my age.
Oh, you did great. I mean, because it really, like, it would have been um almost typical if you had ended up not just the flop star for competitions, but the block star of the season. You were not the block star. You avoided that for the most part, especially
Yeah, in the first beginning, I
early and mid
did.
season.
Yeah, in the beginning, I did. That's why I was like, okay, I'm super. Okay, now this first five is like sticking together or whatever. Even though we were like all over the place with Rose,
Yeah.
but we was all over the place with Rose. But then we did come together and like kind of voted together in some of the rounds. So it was like, okay, we together. And I think once Matt put me up, everybody's seen that okay, I guess he wanted to see. He put me up. He said, whatever. I really don't
Yeah.
care.
To make a question from the chat, Trevor wants to know, who were you closest to in the house?
I was closest to Trevor. I was
Cool.
closer to Trevor, and then I was closer to Sabrina. So them two were and everybody knew that me and Ame were like close too. So I had Ame too. So it was like them three were my closest because I talked to Ame too. So we was like always like, okay, we're not gonna tell people that we know each other. So you do your thing, I do my thing, and it is what it is. She made her alliance on that time. So it was like, and then even though I didn't tell her about the first five, I kept secrets. Like I could hold shit. So, I knew I made like alliance after alliance and but I was gonna have her back regardless. Like I didn't vote her
Yeah.
out. You know
So
what I'm saying? So I knew like I may would have my back. So I wasn't gonna vote I may
if you
out.
had made
Period.
final two, what was your argument to the jury going to be? Question from Tim.
Oh my God. If I had made final two, what would my argument be? It would be because it would have been like, even though I didn't win these HOHs and PPOVs, look at the real. all the way to final two without winning a damn, like, no HOHs, no POVs. He was throwing them. Like, he didn't win. He didn't win none of them. And he actually won the game because his social game and strategy was on point. And I felt like my social game with people, like me connecting with everybody else beside like Jenna and um, Justine and Rachel, them three, I can, like, I didn't connect with them. So everybody else I connected with. So I knew I had my social game was a little okay with getting me far because, like I said, when I came in there, I was like, I'm not a competition beast. I never said I was. I did not. I knew I wasn't gonna. When I came in there, I guess I should have said I'm gonna start winning some shit.
Yeah.
But I went in and like I know I'm not gonna win no HOHs, no POVs. What I'm gonna do is make sure my social game was all right and on point, and that's
And
what I
you knew that's the
did.
game you had to play. And I think that if you had gotten to the final two, you would have definitely gotten votes. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that you would have gotten votes. No,
No,
I think you
no.
definitely would have. I think you had a number of jurors who favored you over any. I think against any of the final four, I think you would have at least gotten some, even against Sabrina. I think
I
so.
hope
I think
so.
so.
But,
Okay.
like I said, I came there to have like enjoy myself, meet new people, and still try to go as far as I could. And I was like, my first thing was not to be voted out first.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be voted out first, so that was my first strategy going in, not to be voted out first because you are the oldest one there. So I did that, I accomplished that, and I'm proud of myself for making it to final four. But I wish I could have made it to final three, final two.
If you were gonna win a competition, which competition do you feel like you had the best shot to win?
Oh fuck that egg!
The egg one?
That egg beetle. I think I could have probably got it if I wasn't like I don't know what was
I
wrong
wish you
because
did. I would
I
have
have
loved for you
long
to win
fingers.
that one.
Man, I was like, okay, I might can do really good at this one because I seen everybody else's fingers. I'm like, okay, I have long ass fingers, so I'm like, okay, I can grab the egg and like maneuver it, and I was doing pretty good, and then it kept falling,
Yeah.
boom, kept falling. I'm like, okay, flop,
Uh,
star again.
Tamika, how did you get involved with Big Brother Columbus?
I had new people that played previously before. And also, I just came across it when I was watching the Victory House.
Yes, Victory
And
House.
there, yeah, I was watching we had somebody from
Wait,
Org that
so
was
did you
playing
see
in
me on Victory House then?
yeah, I saw you in Victory House. And, okay, and I also knew I hated. I also knew who was that? Brown, Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown?
Uh, was it Aaron?
Yeah,
Aaron.
yeah, from Big Brother Columbus.
I yeah, I knew I
Or
seen
no,
him, and
Aaron. Oh,
then
Aaron from no, from Victory House. Yeah.
so I was like, okay, I kind of knew him, and I was like, okay. He was like, when once his season was over, he had hit me up and was like, and I told him I was like, oh, you had got one of those like first or
Well, I
whatever,
didn't know
first or second.
anybody was aware of my Victory House game, the Big Brother Victory House
Yeah,
game.
I did.
So I was
I did.
that's news to me, Tyvek. I'm so glad you didn't judge me on that, and
I
because I was
like,
not great.
like I do. People act like I was just so like floating around. Like I knew stuff what was going on in the house. I knew like where my position was. Did I wanted to try to make my position even more better? Yeah, but hey, I stuck with what I had. I mean, I was stuck with what I was given.
So what would you change about your game if you could go back?
What you know what I would change if I would have went back, it would have been like maybe like turning on people because it seemed like if you turn on people and be evil, you go pretty far. I wish I was like more wholehearted then. I wish I was more cold hearted and like maybe like flip some votes and shit, which I thought about, but I was like, you know what, my morals are not gonna let me do that. I'm gonna just stick with what I know, like voting Ewok back
Yes.
in, like keeping Ewok first and second and third time.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
All
saying?
the times he's on the block.
Talking about the
Would you play again if you had the chance?
yeah. So it was like I wish I would have like maybe like said, okay, yeah, Charles Nate, I'll work with you. Yeah, Jenna, I'll work with you. Like I wish I maybe did that because it seemed like I was just super loyal and I wasn't getting loyalty back. You know, only maybe one or two people was like, okay, I got you. Maybe one or two or
Yeah.
three, maybe. I wish I would have just done that, but like I said, with me, I'm super loyal, and like I said, I go if my line everybody was in my alliance went out, I would have went down with the ship too. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's just me.
Yeah. So, later on in this episode, I'm gonna do some hypothetical final twos, and I'm wondering, as a jury member, what your vote would have been. You ended up voting for Sabrina, in with Sabrina versus Ewok, but what would your vote have been if it was Sabrina versus myself?
Ooh, I probably still would have voted for
Yeah.
Sabrina. Only reason why was because, like I said, me and Sabrina, we came in the house
Mm-hmm.
together. And so we came in the house together, and we just like bonded right then and there. Sabrina knew what she was doing. Like she knew to make connections with everybody, and so by her doing that, she got and she had my loyalty, and we already said, okay, I got your back, and you got my back. I like I told her, I didn't care if she had multiple alliance or whatever, long as she had my back, and I was gonna have her back.
Yeah. What would you have voted
Still
if
would have
it
stuck to
was? What would you have voted if it was Ewok versus me?
I probably would have. See, this is the thing. Me and Ewok was so like we talk strategy and everything, and it's like, and me and you talk too. So it was
Mm-hmm.
like that one probably would have been the hardest one right there. If it would have been you and Ewok, I might would have voted for you.
Okay, I'm gonna
I would
count that as canon.
have
Okay, so let me
it
ask
would
you,
have
because you were the
been
only person here tonight who went to the jury roundtable. What was the jury roundtable like?
oh, they were super pumped. When I walked in, as you see, they were like jumping up and down. I'm like, oh, fuck all of you guys. Right. I gave them all the finger. I'm like, why the fuck y'all jumping up and down? Like, y'all happy now? Yeah,
I think because they just wanted
yeah,
Sabrina to win that badly.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so Taimika, I have a little game for you. I know you were flop starting the season, but I want to try to redo an HOH for you and at least give you a little chance to redeem yourself because I believe in you. Um, if
I'm still
if you're up for it.
a flop star. Okay, I'm
Okay,
still a
so
flop
so we're,
star.
we're, we're gonna reduce down the final four HOH, and just go with naming the order of evictees. Can you say the evictees in the order they were evicted?
Okay, with it. Okay, Robert,
Yeah,
Nikki.
yeah. Who's evicted
Okay,
third?
okay, wait a minute. Robert, Nikki. Let me think. Okay, Robert,
This is
Nikki.
as far you've made it. You made it. You already caught up to where you were in the competition.
Robert, Nikki. Was it
Round
uh
round three.
okay, go.
He made it.
What is it?
He made it back into the game.
Oh, Ewok. Duh. That was Ewok, Vengeance. Oh my god, what the fuck? then okay, Robert, Nikki, Ewok. Because EY put up Rachel and Rachel. Duh.
Yeah.
Rachel, then Jenna.
Jenna's later.
No, no. It was Rachel, then Trevor. Right?
It's the one we stand.
Right?
No. No. It's just Steve.
So, okay. Then Trevor. Okay.
And then Trevor.
Wait a minute. I thought
You know, Tamika.
Trevor
I think the important thing here is that you had such a strong social game, and you really did navigate really well through this house. And you know, maybe you didn't remember all the details along the way. That's okay. That's really okay. Because we had fun doing it. Thank you so much for joining me on AfterCol. Do you have a social media people could follow you by?
They can follow me on Twitter, TKM809 on both Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at Tamika Kelly on Facebook.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining on AfterCol, Tamika. We're going to continue with the next interview where I am actually going to be interviewed since I was the third place person. And so to do that, I am bringing in the only person who I think is qualified to interview me here, and it is the winner of Big Brother Columbus, Sabrina. Welcome. Bye, Tamika. Sabrina.
But, I put myself on mute.
Awesome. Sabrina, are you there? Sabrina.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it over to you because you're in charge here.
Are we live now?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I was not ready. I was like, I'm going to do an intro. Okay, hold up. Okay, so we're matching right now.
Yeah, we are.
Clearly, we're in this game. All right. I've got a full book of questions. Let's go.
I'm so ready for it. Bring them all. I got my white claw ready.
So, okay, everybody in the chat, send your questions too, because I have a lot, but I still want to hear from like what everybody else wants to know too. So I'll start easy. So I saw, so in one of the episodes, you mentioned that you had played other games that you hadn't made it as far as you had in this game compared to those. So tell me, which games have you played before, and how did you get involved with Big Brother Columbus?
So I played 2 seasons of a live game called Big Brother Victory House. It's here in North Carolina where I live. And I played in 2 online seasons of Survivor Ecstasy, which I was merged boots at both of those. And for
that sounds dirty.
Yeah, right. It was my like attempt to foray into online gaming, which I realize it takes up so much time. So I prefer the live game experience where I can be done with it in a weekend. And so when I played my last Big Brother games, I got my first one I played, I got 8th place out of 16, and the second one I got 12th place out of 20. And they were very different games for me. I was a very aggressive player. My first time I played, I made final 2 deals with every person in the house, and then got called out in it, and then it scrambled and found fake advantages. Like I was a crazy player, and this time I came into this game, I wanted to scale that back a bit, play a little steadier. Play methodically, and I think I accomplished that pretty well. I garnered a nickname from the other games I played. I was called Paranathan because I was so paranoid. I was a frantic person.
Oh, that's where it comes from. Okay.
So that's where Paranathan comes from. And I was not Paranathan this game though. I got over Paranathan. My anxiety was kept under control.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Okay, so tell me, what were your first impressions of all of your cast members?
Good question. Okay, so before the game even started, let's see, I got a friend request from somebody named Taimika, and I was like, oh, that's
Nice.
sketchy. Not gonna work with her.
Amazing.
Let's see what else. I knew Ame was a gamer just through the community. I knew she was big into things. I also knew of that Jack was in those circles as well. So I was like, not that I wasn't against working with him, but I was wary that they were experienced, which I think does play a big part in how you do in these games.
Yeah.
Let's see. First impressions walking into the house, though. I liked you from the get go. I knew you were like you had your Harry Potter shirt on, and I was like, okay, she seems perceptive, and I also saw you trying really hard, like right off the bat, to like endear yourself to people. I'm like, she's playing like right off the bat, and it was a bad thing. I just like, take those mental notes. Gosh, Trevor, I actually didn't get on a great foot with, and then I got to know him better after a couple rounds in. I just didn't feel like I had a connection with him. That's why partially why I voted against him. I liked Robert a lot, probably also because I like horror movies, and I felt like I could vibe with that. I liked Nikki a lot.
Actually,
gosh, what other first impressions do I have? Matt. Okay, so one of the things I knew about these games is it pays to arrive early. And so I was the first person to arrive at the Big Brother Columbus house, and the second person to arrive was Matt. And
I thought Matt came in first.
No, I came in first.
Bad idea, bro.
Yeah, obviously the curse.
The curse, it lives on.
Yeah, so Matt shows up, and I end up like he's like, oh yeah, I need to like haul things out of my car, and I'm like I offer to help him because I'm already trying to suck up as much as possible, and so I end up hauling his giant ass gaming desktop computer from his car. I'm like, who the fuck has the desktop computer like for A when they're traveling? And B, just like casually sitting in their car, I was like, who the fuck is this person? Like, what is going on? I knew right away that I wanted him as my shield, though. I was like, you look tall, athletic-y, Joe Englund type. I want you to be my shield, and I'm gonna work on that.
Oh my god. Okay, so kind of going into that then, like, what was your overall strategy when you first walked in? Like, what were you thinking you were going to do?
Well, my initial strategy was to arrive early, end up in at least an unspoken alliance, if not a formal one, and we end up having a formal one with the first 5. I knew I wanted to have something that was at least kind of an unspoken agreement within the first couple people to get there. I also knew I wanted like some comp people to take the heat for me. I wanted to maybe not win the first HOH, but win an early one so I can get some time with people, and that did not happen. Yeah, that did not happen, unfortunately.
Sorry.
And then to kind of just play in a way that was really similar to play really relationally, and so just focus on listening. Like, so on my drive to Columbus, I was listening to a podcast interview with Dan Giesling, and when he's talking about his game, the main advice he gives is that ask questions as much as possible. Just ask questions. Just keep asking. And I tried to embody that as much as possible. I tried to just be be a sponge of people's lives in order to build a connection with people, and or at the very least to get a read on them, if not build a bond on there that would go both directions. So yeah, I think that answers your question. And then, and eventually step up my game even more later on, but the competitions did not break in my favor, unfortunately.
Okay, so speaking of Dan Giesling, going into that area, so you are clearly a Big Brother fan. You watched the actual show.
Yes, I've seen all of the
Okay, so
seasons.
who is your favorite player overall, and was there a certain competition that you were hoping would show up on this
My favorite,
weekend?
like, regular Big Brother player.
Yeah.
Um. Oh gosh, that's tough. I love Daniel Reyes. Um. I love Janelle, but I know I can't play like Janelle. But we stand a veto queen. Gosh, I don't know if there's people from recent seasons I like adore so much. I mean I did like Nicole from this past season, but
I love Nicole.
sometimes in a game you need some breaks. You need some lucky breaks. So I appreciate what happened to her as well.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, cool. So I was one who approached you for a final two.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to have not approached you first, would you have approached me for a final two?
Probably not.
Okay.
Um, I did want to work with you, but I thought you were closer to Ewok. S
Okay.
gosh, that's a hard question though. Because what round did you approach me? Was it
Oh, see, to be honest, I don't even remember.
that would help me
So
remember what I would do.
I guess, kind of piggybacking off of that, were you planning on making a final two on your own with somebody?
I really wasn't planning on making one necessarily because it's hard to because I feel like final twos aren't as valuable as just working relationships. And I feel like we had
Okay.
that. So even if our final two wasn't formalized, I still wanted to be to the point where we were working. I did want to get to the point where we were working in tandem. That was something I wanted to do, even if I didn't make an official final two deal. The
Right.
only other person who that would have maybe applied to is Trevor,
Okay.
but he didn't last long enough for that to come to fruition.
Right. Right. Okay. So, how quickly after being aligned with me did you want to backstab me?
Oh, so we were bringing the heat today. Okay. I didn't. I wanted to go all the way with you until um really until I started looking at the final six makeup, and so it wasn't until the end of the second day, beginning of the third day, where I started thinking like, okay, well, who can I beat? And I started looking at your resume. I thought maybe I could beat you, but Taimika looks a lot better from my perception. So it was not that I was trying to take you out. I wanted to go to the end with you still. I just didn't. If there, I was starting to think, okay, well, if the opportunity arose at the end, where I was like between you and Taimiko, which is a very, very specific hypothetical. Yeah, I was kind of like, let me take the person who I can beat more easily.
Right. Because you told so whenever we finished the game and it was all completely done after I already won and everything, I remember you told me you were like, "Yeah, I was gonna take you until the moment that we walked in
Mm-hmm.
and the jury freaked out." So I was like, "Okay, that's totally
Yeah.
valid because makes total sense, right?" But then watching the season back in your diary rooms already, yeah, like what you said, like final six, you were already thinking about throwing me under the bus. I was like, "Oh, okay, let's talk about
Yeah,
this a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit."
Well, when it got to final six, I mean, when you look at who's in the final six, if you say my ideal final two is Taimiko, well, then second would be you,
Okay.
and but the person I was working closest with was you. So like, no matter what, like I want to get to the end with you, and at the point where it was actually final three with Yumi and Ewok, I wanted Ewok out at final four. I wanted you in the final
Yeah.
three, and then I kind of expected you would take me if you won, and then if I had
Yeah.
won, then maybe. But Ewok won that veto, so at that point I'm like, okay, well I'm going with Sabrina because of course I'm going with Sabrina because up to that point I felt like Ewok had a good game. So yeah, I think in this game there's degrees of loyalty. I don't think it's like you're loyal or you're disloyal. I think you have to weigh your relationships, against other relationships, you have to weigh situations. Now at Final Four, I was pushing for Taimika to go home over once Ewok won veto. Why would I do that if I wanted to be in a Final Two with her? Well, because I felt like Ewok would have definitely taken her over me to the Final Two. Granted, I wasn't in Ewok's head at the time, but you have to consider situations, and round by round things change on a moment's notice. I was the most honest with you out of anybody in this game.
Okay. So yeah, like I think that's the one place where we differ, I guess, in our thoughts of the game is because, like you said, mentioned before, is that for you, a final two wasn't as important as just all of your working relationships together. Mm-hmm. But for me, I was very set on when I went into the house, I wanted to make a final two because I wanted to have that at least one person I was going to be 100% honest to and tell everything to. So whenever I decided I wanted it to be you, I was like totally on board, and I would have taken you to final two, like no questions asked.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I would have taken you as well if I thought I could beat you.
I think, like I said, I think that's where we differ because, like, I would have picked. I know it sounds like crazy, but like I would have chosen loyalty over winning the game. But I guess that's just.
Oh,
me.
I would not
know.
have chosen that. So yeah, and look, you look at big show examples. You know, Colby and Tina. In Survivor Australia, Colby takes Tina to favor loyalty, loses the game. Nobody is proud of Colby for that decision. No. People are like, what are you thinking, you idiot? We look at Big Brother 16 with, what's his name? Derek and Cody. And Cody takes Derek over Victoria. Nobody is saying, Cody, good job for showing loyalty over the best game move you could have made. No, you make the best game move especially when it comes to either winning the game or losing the game. And
I think the main difference is that this was a game for $500 versus $1 million or $500,000.
To me, winning is winning. And it's all in the game, baby.
I know. And trust me, like, all of this is not in malice at all. Like, I know it's 100% in a game, and I think this is all hilarious, and I have no ill will at all. It's just funny to bust your balls.
Like, I think, what is loyalty, and where does that line begin and end? And I truly think it ends, for me, it ends at the point where I now lose the game by staying loyal. Right. And that's the only time I was ever disloyal or, hypothetically disloyal to you. Right. So it was only when my game was about to end and it was either your game or my game.
Right. And I understand that. I think, listen, the biggest thing to me is like I did not realize in the DR that you were already throwing my name under the bus so early. I was very shocked. I didn't
realize that either until we watched that.
And I was like, oh my gosh. So going to this next question, did you plan on being shady in the diary room? Like, were you going for that? Or were you just kind of like letting it happen?
I just said what I thought.
I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Nathan!
Everything I said in the diary room was unfiltered. I'll deal with the consequences later, private talk, and now dealing with the consequences, I guess.
So, a little random fun question from the chat. Matt, aka Julie, wants to know, who is the most powerful Julie?
Oh gosh. Well, I would say Jason, only because he puts together the episode, so he can make someone look real good or real bad.
Good answer. So, another question from the chat. Tim wants to know, so going further on into, final two territory. If you had made it to the final two, mm-hmm. how were you planning to explain yourself against either myself or Ewok or even Tamika to win over any of us?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I knew I didn't have a resume of like point to this moment move necessarily as strong as either of you. I did get out Ame, that's a thing, but that's I don't feel like that was as strong as a point as getting out Jack. So, what I was going to argue was that my gameplay was a series of relationships that I felt were ones that got me through this game, and I was going to talk about Matt being used as a shield. I was going to talk about Trevor being a pocket vote, and I was going to talk about you being my closest strategic partner.
Okay.
And I was just going to talk about those relationships and how those got me through the game. I was going to talk about how I really sought with every person to have a conversation, whether they were leaving or not, to just try to build bridges and never let a connection wither between myself and another contestant, so that I would, even if they were leaving, like I would still try to like not have them feeling bad about me.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. Okay, so again, on the final two question, were you surprised that Ewok voted to evict you?
I was shocked because in my logical game head, which I like to think I'm a very logical game strategist, I saw myself as the ideal person to be taken to the final two, between, the three of us. I thought either of you would take me. I thought, especially with Taimika being gone, I thought, okay, well, now I have been moved up to the perfect final two person. And so I thought, yeah, no kidding, Ewok's going to take me. And it wasn't until he won after the final three competition outside. We walked inside and you walked away. I tried proposing, hey, let's just take each other here.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. Well, and how serious was I going to take it? I don't know. But of course they're going to propose it, because if he wins, if that's the thing that gets him to take me, I'll do it. So I proposed, hey, let's take each other. We won. Like, it's between us two. We can guarantee our final two right here. And he was like hemming and hawing, and that's when I knew this was not going in my favor.
Okay, fair enough. So let's see.
And that's okay. Something else I want to bring up. So yeah, I don't. Yes. So then I realized that he may have had a final two with you, which I wasn't sure if that was a thing.
Not like it was. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like we didn't really. Okay, we didn't have like I don't think an official handshake like final two going on until those last moments of like final four, final three were happening.
Yeah.
Because throughout the game, truly, like you were my only final two, and that was the one that I was like loyal to. But as the game was ending, me and Ewok did talk a lot, and Ewok did tell me that he would take me and that he would want to go with me to the end.
So I asked him in that moment when you were away, right after that challenge, hey, did Sabrina make a final two with you? And he said yes, and I said, well, she made one with me too, and I was trying to use that as a reason for him to realize that the deal was a sham and he shouldn't be loyal to you, and and so obviously the deal doesn't matter anymore, and he should just take the person who he has a better shot against.
Right.
And I felt very Vanessa Russo-esque in that moment. She's always thinking of a reason.
Gosh.
Just come up with a reason, and I was just thinking, let me figure out a reason for him to break his deal.
Okay, I've got two more questions for you. These are just fun questions, so
okay, I love it.
Don't worry about it. Okay, the first one is, what was your favorite moment overall in the house?
Favorite moment. Probably the one that was the best was winning that Final Four HOH, because I kind of destroyed, and I was like, yay, I finally did a thing that like proves how good I am, and I don't think any of the jury was watching.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. What's funny is in the edit in the episode, it shows you going first, but you actually went last.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so me and Tamika were in the other room listening to your answers, and we knew like 100% you were going to win. So we're just listening like, all right, how fast is he going to get this? Because her and I did not study whatsoever.
And I'm playing it thinking like, oh man, I need to make sure I'm faster than y'all. Like I'm not even thinking about. I'm thinking like, of course they're finishing it. Like of course, at least I figured you were finishing it, and I needed to beat your time.
Nope. But you did great in that comp. I will give you that. Okay, so now this next question, which is funny, is I actually wrote this question down, but Wade in the chat also asked the same question. So we're gonna ask it. This is my last question for you. So compare your castmates to previous actual Big Brother players.
Okay.
So I want you to like give like a name of like this current season with a name of a Big Brother player that matches them.
Gosh. That's tough. Who? Like, it would be easy to equate Matt with Tyler, except Matt wasn't that smooth.
Damn.
Oops. Oh god, hashtag drag Matt. Sorry, just say things. And this is why I tried to, like, I had to really filter myself during this game. I really saved it all for the dire room.
Clearly.
If I just said what was on my mind, y'all would never want to work with me. Y'all would never take me to the end. Gosh. I guess Trevor was my Victoria.
Oh, that's what Trevor said in the chat.
It is. Oh gosh, it's so true though. I feel like you played a really straightforward game. You were really like a Casey, if you could equate anyone with that.
I'll take that.
I feel like Ewok was like a BB18 James Hooling.
Okay.
That's really how I equated his game.
Interesting.
We'll may see what he thinks about that in a few minutes, I guess. But gosh, who else is there? Taimika's Kathy from BB12. We just needed a honey challenge to see it.
we can see Tamika's face, but y'all can't, and she looks.
I can't see
her face.
Okay. Oh gosh, I'm trying to.
A couple more. Just
okay. Well, let's do Ame. Ame was who's somebody who is over the top. I don't really know. This is so hard to think of people off the top of my head.
I know. I'm
from
sorry.
Big Brother. Ame played like Audrey.
Okay.
Just scheming so much unnecessarily. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? I got through a number.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I really have for you, to be honest. Like, I think we got through some of the stuff I wanted to talk about.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for being the interviewer. Cause
yeah, it was fun. I like.
Hashtag drag Nate 2019. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are going to switch the interviewing role and Ewok here, and hopefully I can click the right thing. Where is Ewok? Ewok, are you there?
Sorry, I jumped away for a second.
Hello. Welcome, Ewok, to AfterCol once again.
Hello.
You're the first repeat guest.
I know. I know. Who loves a repeat?
Okay. So I thought it would be fun if we kind of just walk through the episode a little bit and then go back into some of our crazy games. And now that we have the final three reunite.
Hello.
Welcome
back.
So we have the final four.
Oh shit.
Oop, yeah, mute that. Okay. So Ewok, I want to talk about your final four decisions. So we have the chicken wire veto where you managed to pull it out. And what were your thoughts at? I think a lot of people were surprised on the jury and the viewers.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened in Final Four was first of all, I didn't expect to win, number one. I had no illusions that I was going to be the person who would have control to get voted out, right? So when I won the veto, there was the night before, so whatever night was right before the finale night, and we were all laying down, we were all asleep, and we were all passed out in the living room there. And there was a moment, there's a chance that I could get myself to final two. Like, I see a path there. Who would I bring with me? And I mean, like, from someone's point of view who wants to just win the game outright without any like effort, Tamika would. I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't do it. And I think I said this during the finale, was like, I genuinely felt like I would have been a humongous asshole had I been the person to just like bring someone to the end that would stack up to somebody that had maybe a better resume. And like Tamika, that's not to say Tamika didn't have a great game. Of course she had an amazing game. Like, her social game was fantastic. But the fact of the matter was, she didn't have a competition game to back that social game up. So I honestly felt like I didn't want to be somebody who would bring someone to have a fighting chance. And regardless of whether or not that game, whatever, I feel very, I feel at peace with that decision.
Yeah. I was happy at that point once I knew for you to take out Tamika. I felt like that was, she would, it's this kind of magic where you take out the person everyone's going to take to the end so that you maybe can get there.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I said it right before the final two was selected. I wanted to bring someone to the end, like at the end, and that's something that I thought of, especially going into Sunday, was if it were up to me, I want to bring the people the biggest chance to like duke it out. I wanted it to be a toss-up. I wanted it to be a tie. I didn't want to be one person over the other person. I wanted it to be like a strong final two, and one of those people, the only person in my mind that had game versus mine, was Sabrina.
Ouch.
I mean, that's nothing against your guys' game. I mean, we all made Final Four. There is nothing against anybody in the Final Four. It's just at a certain point, it becomes up to the individual to bring themselves further in the game, and that's what I did.
Yeah. I mean, I won competitions. I won 2 competitions. Sabrina, you won, what, 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, I think I got 2 or 3 head of households and 3 vetoes.
You won a lot.
Yeah.
Especially that Sunday. I mean, Sunday was the point in which I knew that if I didn't win, I was going home. And it was true. I mean, like, had I not won any of the plate on Sunday,
would have been gone.
I would have been gone.
For sure.
No, it's true.
Like, you guys have been talking about who you would have taken the final 2, who you would have been taking the final 2. And besides Sabrina, and even with Sabrina, I was the one to breach the subject. No one was coming to me with final 2s. I mean, like, from like,
yeah,
everyone thought that I was a GOAT because I had been taken out of the game so early. I also felt like I was pushing a lot of the moves, a lot of the votes, because like no one was, but at the same time, like I still had social capital in the game, and that was shown at every time that I was on the voted to get me out.
Except the first time.
Except you, Sabrina, the first time.
Sorry.
So we have the final 3 competition, the final sale, digging through the sand and the puzzle. What was that like for y'all, Sabrina?
Horrible. Okay. The first part, I did really well. Like, I got to the puzzle first, and I was really excited about it. And I was like, all right, I got this, like, no problem. And I knew it was a 7 that we were going to be making in the puzzle. And so I was like, all right, 7, let's go. And for some reason, like, the fact that it was like a buff, and I just could not get it. And like, as the second that you like that Ewok's puzzle, I was like, okay, I gotta look, let's go. And then like, even after looking at it, it didn't help me at all.
Was I the?
Yes. As soon as you looked, I was like, yes. As soon as you looked, I was like, screw it, I'm gonna look. And then I looked, and of course, it still didn't help me. And then after I asked Jason, I was like, hey, can I like finish this puzzle real quick? Like, there was a couple of like challenges that like I asked like production if I could just finish it just to finish it because I felt so dumb and I was like, I just need to do this.
I was just thinking like, oh my god, this puzzle's hard. Like I'd probably still be trying to solve it myself if Ewok didn't finish it. And,
I felt totally say it. I 100% thought that Ewok was gonna evict me. Like I don't know.
No.
Both times.
I don't know where this is coming from. Like I don't know where this is coming from because you were the only person that you were the only person that you and honestly the other person was Jack. For some reason, me and Jack had clicked well, at least in my and I had clicked really well. So like for me, my ideal final three was me, Sabrina, and Jack, and then you took out Jack. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah. Oh, so Sabrina, we had a question from Kyle asking, what would your literal swan song be?
Maybe My Heart Will Go On.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would out the house to the jury. Like, I truly, like, in that diary room, like, I really did think I was the first time I thought Ewok was going to evict me in Final Four. And that was when that diary room happened, before eviction. So, like, I thought I was going home. And that's why I said that, because I truly thought that Ewok would evict me. And as soon as I said it was, Aaron was the Julie who was doing that diary room. And I said that, and I was, like, really upset. And, like, I was about to leave the room. And then Aaron goes, expect the unexpected. And then Ewok didn't evict me, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm still here. What's up? And then I lost, and again, I thought Ewok was gonna evict me at the final three.
No. So Sabrina, there was this. Okay, so Nathan, you've already had a chance to talk about this, but there was this. Yeah. Okay, so I won the final HOH competition, right? And you had already talked about Sabrina had gone upstairs to DR. And me and you were like putting our shoes on or something. And like you were down there with me and you were like whispering all the things to me that Sabrina had done terribly, right? She's going to do this and she's never been on the block and she's going to beat us. And if you don't do, I mean, just like all these little things. And I just kept thinking to myself, like, to view the entire time. Like I'm seeing cracks in the dynamic duo of Nathan and Sabrina. And I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting because I didn't expect it, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be the moment that you started throwing her under the bus that hard was the moment I decided. And like, I don't know, it's just like that weirded me out. Oh, it weirded me out because I felt like so tight with her the whole time. And then like the moment that it was time to like either declare your loyalty or not, you were so ready to throw her under the bus that it freaked me out because for me we're close too, and I thought, well, obviously he would do the same thing to me had it been a reverse situation. So like honestly that sketched me out really badly.
Oh, for sure, I definitely would have done it if it was reversed.
Yeah, I know, and I was like, what?
And okay, Nathan, there's a part that you don't know between me and Sabrina. There was, so you were still putting your shoes on and she was coming downstairs from DR and I was going upstairs to DR and we met on the landing. And I think if you can go back to like the live feed, you can see this quick little moment where she comes, will you take me? And I'm like, yeah, I promise I'll take you. And like, we just kind of like go like that really quickly by. And like, I feel like that was the moment that I actually really decided what I was going to do.
Yeah, and I truly didn't know, like, I didn't know any of that. Like, I didn't know that that Ewok and Nathan had talked. I didn't know y'all had talked together about any of that, or that Nathan was throwing me under the bus, or that Ewok was making his decision still. I had no freaking idea. Because I was also upstairs, like, putting my makeup on or something. Like, I didn't know that was happening. So, truly, like, I remember Ewok told me that, first, he told me that he was voting out Tamika, that he was taking me. And he told me this after he told Tamika that he was going to vote her out, and I like I was excited, but at the same time I was still nervous because I wasn't sure if he was telling me the truth or not, of course. Because I mean, you never know. So I was, of course, still nervous regardless. And then I also didn't know if Ewok would take me to final two or not because I had this final two with you, Nathan, or so I thought. And and whenever we were in the actual finale and y'all two were playing the final round, I mean, of course I was rooting for Nathan because I thought we had this close deal, and sorry, but I truly did. I thought we still had this close final two. I thought this was the plan all along.
Would that have been a fun finale?
Oh, I would have lost my shit. I really did think that Nathan was still going to take me, and so I was rooting for him. The moment that Ewok won, I was really nervous because I didn't know what was going to happen. I did not know his plan. I didn't know what he wanted to do. I had no freaking idea. So I was very, like, stressed. And I was so, like, oh, my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen. And, yeah, that was nuts. Like, that whole, like, last 3 hours was crazy because I had no idea what was going to happen. And I felt like I was totally in limbo the entire time because it was all in somebody else's hands. Like, that whole time because I lost all three of those competitions in a row, and I had no idea what was going to happen. I feel very lucky at this point to have been picked by Ewok multiple times to go because I thought it was going to be best for his game to eliminate me, and
it would have been.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight is 20/20, but like at the same time, like for me at that moment, I truly thought for his game, it would have been better to evict me. So I'm very shocked and blessed that he took me to the final two.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So we, I just remember we have the car ride over. I'm just like the whole time I want to scheme.
You're like bumping my elbow the whole way over. Like you keep bumping me.
I'm trying to be so subtle because I'm like I want to scheme in front of Sabrina.
Honestly, like I was too nervous. Like okay, it's like I feel like the same.
Anything.
Oh no! Like had I looked over at you and like started to try to scheme, I like like I was so nervous. Like, I couldn't do anything. Like I was so like overcome with just like all of these emotions.
They didn't show this obviously in the episode, but leave us. We're in that holding room for like at least 30 minutes to an hour, and that was the most nerve-wracking time ever because it's gonna happen. You know, y'all two still have to play. Who's gonna pick who?
And I couldn't talk.
What's gonna happen?
I couldn't talk to Ewok.
That was so stressful. Champagne, and that was wonderful. And then I was just drinking champagne the whole time. And
we heard Alex Spidel
talking to Matt. And then Matt, remember when Matt was saying he was like, "Oh, I could have beat everybody in that crossword puzzle," and blah blah blah. Trash.
And we're all rolling
and
our
we're
eyes
all behind the door.
Yeah, you wish you could have.
He didn't know we were behind the door right there, and he was talking smack the whole time. We're like, okay. And we didn't. Oh my gosh, that was a mess. That was so nerve-wracking though. Like that whole time before the finale started was so. We were like a freaking.
Yeah, I was just like listening to that. I just remember listening to that conversation and just trying to be like, okay, give me any info I can so I can make a better decision for final two.
Oh man, that was a mess. Oh, Ewok, Jason wants you to show your shirt.
Oh yeah, I would love to show my shirt. Get ready, everyone. Take a look because this is some true fucking shit right here. Truest shit. BBCOL7, the Rob God.
Yes.
Right here.
I love it.
I don't know, as the fallen Rob Goddess, but
oh, boo.
You have the t-shirt, so
nope. Sorry, girl. Rob Goddess is me this time.
So we get to the after walking into the crowd cheering for Sabrina. Side note.
I got cheers too, thank you.
I did fucking crickets. And I was like, great. I feel the love. So we had Justine. She said her biggest mistake was not making multiple alliances. Which I got wrong. I don't know how I got that wrong.
Yeah.
That was
so
bad.
I was obviously playing along as y'all were actually playing it. And like, I don't know, that made sense to me because
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It makes all the sense. Trevor's biggest regret was voting Ewok back in. I
knew that answer. I knew that answer the moment it was up on the board. I was like, oh shit, he hates me.
I knew. I felt like because what he had voiced to me was that he thought that the costume thing did him in real bad.
I also thought it was the costume one. I got that one wrong too.
And then Ame had the favorite shot, wine shots, which I have a problem with. I got this one wrong, which I have a problem with because
she said that in the house.
She said it, and she brought the sparkle wine.
She did bring the sparkle wine. Granted, the only shots I ever took with Ame were fireball shots, and I took 3 or 4 fireball shots with her over the weekend.
Oh no!
So the only
I was doing shots of water.
So the only shots that I took with her were fireball. So I'm like, oh well, fireball. Duh. That's all we took with her. And so yeah, that's the thing. To screw me over, Ame, get your revenge. His secret alliance, which was Matt.
And that surprised me. I did not know that was happening. I didn't know that Matt and Nate had a secret alliance. I just
figured that since they were both early HOHs, it kind of made sense. I
had no clue. So that actually that competition, I was like, wow.
I didn't know either because I was working with both Matt and the first. I was also working with Tall Nate because it wasn't shown at all during the finale episode, but there was a moment when Tall Nate gets up on the microphone and basically puts my entire game on blast. He's like, I've known the production crew, the Julies, for like a decade. And like me and Nate Brimmer go back to like 2008, which is true. Gosh. It's true. I mean, like we've known each other for a while. I've known like Jason Porter since 2008. Like we've been best friends for a long time. That is not information that I wanted out into the game. Mm-hmm. And it's really, and like, I feel like I did a pretty good job of keeping that under wraps, but they don't show it in the episode. They'll probably show it in the bloopers, but Nate completely puts that on blast and just outs me right there on screen. So like for me having that happen during the finale, like totally felt like, what the fuck, Nate? Like we were working together. I saved your ass. Like I saved your ass hard. And you're throwing me under the bus. Like what is going on?
Yeah, that was news to me. I had no idea that y'all know each other.
Yeah. I feel like Sabrina, you slapped me during the finale. Like you actually like hit me once you finally had that information come out. Like I remember you like slapped my shoulder once that happened.
Wait, during what information? Oh, whenever Nate like outed you?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Because I didn't know that though. I didn't know that information at all. So maybe I did. I don't remember that like actually hitting you, but I remember it was like the final day. I want to say it was either Sunday or like late Saturday. Probably Sunday though, because I was talking to, I think it was Joey. Yeah, I was talking to Joey, and something about people knowing each other, like cast members knowing each other, and then I was like, I don't know how I knew this, but I was like, hey, so do you know Jenna? And he was like, yeah, Jenna's my cousin. I was like, oh. I was like, it doesn't matter now because she wasn't playing anymore. But I was like, oh, okay. So people know each other that I didn't really realize. But yeah, so I was like, oh, that's really interesting. It's a random fun fact.
It's with these amateur games, there's always going to be people who kind of know, will definitely know production and probably know each other. Which I was really happy our season had very few pregame connections.
Yes, I was happy with that too.
I think that made it a really fun, pure kind of.
Yeah, like I didn't know anybody. Like the only person I knew was Kyle Gates, but obviously he was from last season. But he was the only person I had any knowledge of. Like I didn't know anybody else. Like he was the only one.
So Jenna's biggest regret was not lying more. Matt's thrown through was Otev. Which I remember seeing him in OTEV and being like, oh, Matt's like waiting to step on the platform. That's weird.
Yeah, I didn't know he was throwing it. Like, I guess I'm just stupid, but like, I didn't know he was trying to throw it. But what's funny to me is that both him and Ame were apparently trying to throw it, the both of them, and I guess Ame threw it worse, and that's why she won.
Yeah.
So, it's like,
messy.
Okay.
I need to take some notes from Tybeka for how to throw a competition.
Yeah.
Jack's favorite eviction favorite thing about eviction night was telling Julie she was stunning. Okay, look, I love BBCOL production, but we're gonna have a hashtag drag BBCOL production moment here. In the slightest of ways.
Careful now.
Careful, no. I think the BBCOL production crew is the best as far as amateur Big Brother games, and I will stand by that statement. If I have any qualms about the season, if I could change any little things, one would be that the pre-jury buyback, they should have been sequestered from the chat. Which, Nikki and Robert, I think, being potentially problematic, and I think hurt their chances from coming back in. The other thing was this question. Because there's no possibly what Jack's doing in the diary room.
Oh, gosh. Jack's monologues were like my favorite and least favorite things of the entire season. Like, I had no idea that was happening at all.
No!
And I think it's hilarious that, like, every single time we were just like, what's he gonna say this time? Like, what's he gonna do this time? Like, that was great.
No,
great. So good.
Chat is pretty. Got dragged. Sorry. Let's go on to the final vote. So I want to talk about, you took Who's Deserving. What was the chance to just talk about that decision to vote out me over Sabrina?
I mean, here's the thing, Nathan. I know you don't want to hear it so much, but I believe that Sabrina had a better game. Okay. I mean, like, I just do. And I had this conversation. I don't actually remember who I had the conversation with, but I know there was a lot of talk about, like, who the house wanted as the finale people, who the house wanted to win. And I know there was a lot of conversation about, like, people wanted to take strength to the end. And from my point of view, I mean, like, I knew that I had a really, really tenuous hold on everything. Like, my claim to be a strong player very much was dependent upon my ability to just not be evicted again, right? Whereas everybody else in the house, like, unfortunately, Nathan, you just kept telling me all of the reasons Sabrina was better than you. And, like, that made my decision for me, because I thought to myself, like, okay, I favorite, obviously, the jury, and we saw this during the jury, like, questioning. Like, I got fucking roasted up there. And, like, I thought to myself, if I took somebody to the end who had the opportunity to beat me, like, who probably could beat me in the end, the jury might see that as a move to where they could maybe respect that I wasn't trying to take, like, somebody with a lesser resume. That maybe that would give me an edge over the person who was the stronger player, in that I was taking a risk. I was taking a chance. Like, it didn't work out for me. But at the end of the day, like, ass at Big Brothers. Like she fucking kicked ass. And I can't go back and say that I would have made a different decision than I actually did, because, like, either way, no matter who I would have taken, I had the opportunity to lose. I had already lost in round 3. So for me, every week that I was still there was a gift. And by the time we got to the final 4, the final 3, for me, it was all about what was the narrative of the show? What was the narrative of our season? And what kind of season did we want to have coming out of it? And unfortunately, I truly believe that Sabrina was somebody that should have been in the finale. She deserved it. And typically that shouldn't be that should not be my decision to make. But in that moment it was, and that's the decision that I made. And even to this moment, being in second place, being the person who did not win this game, I would still make the same decision every single time.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Sabrina, you had a stronger game than me. And that is all the reason why you should have been voted out. Where if we're playing a game logically by strategy, and I just from where I come from, I don't place deserving anywhere into these games. I think everything is about winner. What helps you to make what what decision is going to make. And I think in some way you thought that was going to make you the winner. I don't really feel like deserving has anything to do with that, but
I mean, deserving is relative, right? Of course. I mean, deserving is relative. We all deserve to be in the Final Four. That's why we made it to the Final Four. But at the end of the day, like, that's just the decision that I had to make for myself and my game.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, could I have beaten you, Nathan? I don't know the answer to that question.
We might get to that today.
I don't know. Oh, really? Ooh.
We might get to that later. But first we have the jury questions, and Sabrina does her opening talk about how she used the Satchel of Secrets.
Satchel of Secrets!
Get out, Jax! Did you just have Harry Potter on the brain?
Yes.
Is that your shadow box?
This is my shadow box.
And there's the Satchel of Secrets.
Let's talk about it. Okay, wait. There's production. BBCOL7. Me. There's the poker chips, like that one competition we did with the poker chips.
That really
and then
one, yeah.
for the veto ticket I bought. And then cards because of the card competition we did. And then the roulette where I doubled my points. And then the whole cast photo. And then my key. And then there's dice here for whatever dice game we played for the casino. And then I have my BBCOL medal, my gold medal. And then my number one because I won. And then the martini glass because we played that one veto with the martini glasses. And then the slot, the slots because of that one HOH we played that I bombed at. And then all of the cast members with their names on it. And then there is the Satchel of Stealing, which is actually the Satchel of Secrets.
So I propose two things. One, that Sabrina comes back and hosts a shadow box competition. And two, that we have a real advantage called the Satchel of Secrets.
Okay, I don't know what was going on with that because because clearly buying it, I knew it was the Satchel of Stealing, but I think you're right. I think I had Harry Potter on the brain. It was the Chamber of Secrets / the Satchel of Secrets, which I think would have been so much more fun. It was the Satchel of Secrets. Sorry, production.
Justine asked Ewok that whether you had her back, and you gave a very honest answer. I thought you were good there.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, she was asking me the question. I was thinking to myself, like, okay, what can I say to get out of this? And there was nothing. And I mean, like, I was just straight up. I was like, yeah, no, I like legit never had your back. And I there's a couple of people. Okay, give me a forum here real quick because there's a couple of people that I want to like speak to directly. Like, yeah. Justine is somebody who I wish that I would have like gotten along with way more than I did. She's awesome. Like, Justine is so cool. And like, unfortunately, we were just put like on opposite ends of the house. She was in the girls' lines. I was in the first 5. She came for me a couple of times, and she even dragged me down on the Jade veto. And like, I just felt like her and I were just like this the whole time. And she was coming for me, and it was nice. It was fun. I feel like I want to say I'm sorry to Rachel because I feel like I targeted Rachel really heavily, and there wasn't a whole lot of justification for that. And I just wanted to apologize for her, and I also want to apologize to Trevor because I feel like I perpetuated him being on the block all the time and not being taken seriously in the game. And that's something I do legitimately feel guilty about because he was an amazing person and an amazing player.
Love it. Trevor's final question for you. He did not give you any wiggle room when he asked you to pick a number.
No, but he voted for me to win.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that.
I did not manage to catch all the votes at the end. I
didn't really get Trevor's question.
The votes for Ewok, it was Trevor, Ame,
Matt, and
Matt. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Were y'all surprised by any of the jury votes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Who were you surprised by?
I was surprised that Tall Nate voted for me.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised that Ame didn't vote for me. Well, actually, no, because I did not save her from the block. So I kind of get her reasoning as to why she didn't vote for me. But at the same time, her reactions during jury and us walking in made me kind of believe that she was going to vote for me, and she didn't. So I was a little bit surprised about that one. But every other one, Trevor, again, was kind of a toss-up. I didn't really know where he was going to vote. Whatever, he would have Ewok, so I wasn't, like, against shocked, but wasn't one at the same time. Yeah, I don't know.
I was really surprised at Jack's vote.
I wasn't surprised after his talk. Like, after he, like, gave his question and reasoning, I wasn't surprised.
Once he's opened his... Like, you backed... I said this during the episode. You had a Jack, and I thought he was going to be... I thought he was going to be pissed at you.
Me too!
And then he turned around, and he was like, Ewok, I think this is a big detriment
I was
to you.
like, wait, what?
I was like, what the fuck, man? Like,
yeah.
I was on your side the entire time. Like, you were one of the only people in this game that I did not lie to. And, like, I was the most surprised by Jack, I think, because I felt like Jack was somebody who was outside of our alliance that I felt really good with. And then when he was like, yeah, Ewok, you're kind of like shitty or whatever, I'm like, what? I was so shocked.
No, I was just about that part because like I said, whenever we walked into jury, I truly thought I did not have Jack's vote. I thought he was so pissed at me and like over it. And so whenever he started talking like to the finale, like I was like, okay, maybe he is going to vote for me because maybe he does respect my move. But I agree with you that I was shocked that he like said those things about you because I didn't think he was going to go that far into it. I thought it was just going to be like, oh, hey, I respect your game move. That's it, done. But like he went on about you and I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Like I didn't expect that either. I truly didn't expect most of the reactions from the jury to you that happened. Because like maybe it was just me, like because I was, you and I were like working together, like maybe I didn't see everything that was going on, but like I didn't really understand why you're being pegged as such a villain because like I didn't really see any of that. And so again, I don't know if it was just me not seeing it, other things were happening outside of my little bubble, but like
completely agree with you because I came out of that finale and like you were announced the winner and I was announced in second place. So, like I came out of that thinking like, okay, well I must have been the villain, right? Because like I kind of went into the game thinking like, okay, well villain's really fun. I'm going to be a villain, but like I didn't feel like I played that. But jury and like I said, I got fucking roasted up there, and there were a lot of like a lot of the tone and a lot of the emotion as much during the actual episode tonight,
right?
But I was roasted.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
I didn't know why. I didn't understand why. Like Nathan and Tamika, I understood why you guys were a little bit more hostile towards me, but everybody else was like, "What the fuck?" So like my perception of the game moving forward from like the past 6 months, so like June to now, I was thinking like, okay, I was the villain. I must have been the villain of the game. But like as each week happened, I saw to myself like, what have I done? Like why has this happened? And the only thing that I can think of people about this since is that like Sabrina, you were such the hero. Everyone was like, oh my God, she's going to win. She's amazing. She's awesome. She's awesome. And when I got to the final two, everyone was like, you don't deserve to be here. But then I feel like, and this was reflected in my opinion in the jury votes, like I feel like I made a really solid case for myself as to why I should have been in the final two, right? And like whether or not I'm correct in that assessment, I think that it came across of who was sitting next to Sabrina. Sabrina was the hero and that other person was the villain no matter what. And like, again, I personally am super proud of the fact that like everyone in the jury said they were going to vote for Sabrina outright. And I converted 3 votes. I think for me that like, I feel really good about that personally.
Yeah. I said, I didn't really understand. Like, I didn't get that vibe at all until like everybody was talking about it. Like, everybody coming up and asking questions. I was really surprised at like the attitude that people had, and I was just there sipping my champagne like, okay, like,
yeah, Ewok, I thought you were, I mean, from my perception, I thought you were an equal potential contender compared to Sabrina until we walked into that room. And then
that finale was wild. I mean, that finale, like half of it I'm like completely blacked out on, right? Like I don't remember a lot of it. was so stressed out during that time. And watching it back now, I'm just like, shit, like I should have seen coming the fact that I was going to come in second place. But at the same time, like I can't say that I would make a different decision because it's just like it's so hard to go at this point.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to take over, Nathan, but in the chat, Trent just asked us, or I guess a little while ago, wanting to us who would we want to play with and would not want to.
Yeah. Or from previous BBCOL seasons. One maybe.
I don't know. I would want to play with. I don't know. I think I've always I wish I had gotten to know Trevor better and had gotten to actually talk with him, like strategy wise about stuff. Cause like I think him and I would have gone along really, really well. Cause like after this game, we realized that we get along super well, just like talking. So like I think I would love to play with him and to see actually how we would do together as an actual alliance or like talking or, you know, doing competitions together. And I feel like if I was to play against anybody, it would be hard to play against like Matt per se because he is such a good competition person. Like he won so many comps. Like that would be really hard to go against. But in general, I feel like anybody from our season I'd be happy playing with. Truly, like
I would agree with that. I think our season was amazing. Like there was nobody on our season who I thought was just like not holding their weight, didn't want to be there, whatever. Like it was
exactly.
So
I would love
awesome.
to play against anybody. I would love it.
Every single vote was like almost 100, like split right down the middle. The house was always split. Everyone was always confused as what was going on. It was always chaos. I mean, like it just shows the season that we had.
Yeah.
I think I would have been okay with other people. From our season, I would just be really wary that people wouldn't want to work with me necessarily.
That's what happens when you're in.
I don't know why. I don't know why. But from past house guests, I think Tony Farrell is somebody who I would want to work with.
Tony. Audrey.
Because, yeah, well, I feel like, yeah, and Audrey to an extent. I feel like Tony's this kind of player who's kind of this perfect ally who, he's always going to be a shield and he's not likely to win at the end. So, yeah, that's somebody who I would love to play with. Who else?
I feel you.
There's people I know. Like I played with Jamie Boots before. And I know I'm friends with Alan, who won season 4. But other than that, I don't know.
That's a hard question.
It is a hard, especially like I have a hard time answering it because like seasons 1 through 4, I know most of the people who have played before. And honestly, I don't like people like Jen, right? Like Jen is a classic BBCOL player. Like she's been in a lot of the early seasons. She's like one of the like the classic like players. I've also known Jen since 2009, and like the thought of like backstabbing her and playing the game with her is just, I can't play it, right? So like I'd have a hard time playing with those people. So for me, the people like the out of towners, right, the non-Columbus people are the people that I want to play with, like the people that I don't know.
Yeah, makes sense.
And the sevens, because the sevens are the fucking best.
So I was very concerned coming into this season about being seen as a Jalen Roach. Because, you know, the last season he made a final 2 and we have very similar jobs. And so I was super worried that we were going to be pegged as the same type of player. And that's part of the reasons I went like into stealth mode at the beginning. I didn't want to win like the first HOH is to prevent that association.
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay, bye.
Okay, Sabrina, I have Trevor has a question for you. If you, he wanted to know if he had gone to you during the round he was evicted and tried to make a deal, would you have kept him?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Liked him, and I felt like we kind of had a weird connection in the beginning because he had posted on Instagram where the game started, and he posted a RuPaul's Drag Race meme, and I was like, oh my gosh, because I love that show. And so I messaged him and like about it, and then the game, and he said who his name was, like his Instagram is like part of his first name, And I was like, oh, that's you. You're the one who posted that meme. And like, I wanted to connect with him and talk with him, but like, I don't know, he wasn't like, he was very shy and like wasn't like super open yet when he first came in. So like, I didn't really feel like I could make a total connection with him. But I feel like if we did, then I would have taken him a lot further than it happened. So yeah, I think I would have. If he came up to me and like seriously talked to me with a deal, I think I would have taken it.
Tim wants to know on that note, is there someone you wish you connected with more in the house?
Definitely Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor.
Yeah, I really wish I did. Because like now, it's funny because like now, after it's all over, like I feel like him and I talk all the time, just like randomly over like Facebook or whatever social media is going on. We're constantly commenting on like each of those things, and like I don't know. I wish we would have had that connection in the house because I really do like him and I think he's hilarious.
I guess I would say Justine or Jack.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to know Justine that well until she was on her way out, and then it was kind of
right
too late. And then Jack, if on a similar page with him, there maybe could have been a different end game scenario. That who knows?
Right.
Okay, let's get. So, let's get. Oh wait, no, we had one more one just put in there. If you had to, Wade asked if you had to pick one rival to have in a vet-only season from this season, who would be your rival from this season?
I feel like
my rival is Jenna. 100%, my rival is Jenna.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have many rivals. If I were to technically pick a rival, I would also say either Jenna because I put her up on the blog or Jack because I blindsided him. So either one of those two would technically be like a rival, like with a game standpoint. But I mean, now we're like all good and we're all friends. But like game wise, I think it'd be one of those two.
I think Tall Nate would be my rival.
Oh my gosh, Nate and Nate.
The Nate.
Because we were really butting heads like the entire season. I mean, I would tell him to his face I was going after him, like a lot. I didn't even hold it back. Okay, so let's get to this hypotheticals. I have been the jurors as to who they would have voted for. Had the final two been different.
Okay.
So we're gonna do this in two parts. And make it a little bit of a game. So Sabrina, we already heard Taimika's answers to both of these. I also was not able to get in contact with Nate, unfortunately. Though I tried, he did not give me an answer, unfortunately. So, but it shouldn't matter I don't think it will matter in terms of getting answers here. Why don't you go first as the winner? And we're just going to go through each juror, and you have to just guess if it was a final two between me and you, who would they have voted for? And Ewok, so we're going to guess Ewok's answer first. So, Sabrina, who do you think Ewok would have voted for between me and you?
Okay, I think Ewok would have voted for me.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Okay, Taimika.
I think
you already saw Bill.
Yeah, she said me.
Yeah. So Taimika said you. Okay, Jack.
Okay. Ooh. I think he would have voted for me.
Yes.
Okay.
Matt.
Oh man. Me?
Yes, he said Sabrina with a question mark.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm not sure. Because, like, he voted for Ewok, which I still don't know why he voted for Ewok.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Whatever.
Oh.
Who knows?
Because we were friends, that's why.
There are reasons.
Because this is why, Sabrina. This right here is why. This is why.
Yes.
Who would Jenna have voted for?
Me.
Yes. Ame.
Ooh. I'm gonna say you.
No, she would have voted for you.
Interesting. Okay, because I'm also curious as to why she voted for Ewok.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know. I don't know the answer to that question.
I did not. I did not ask all the jurors why they voted which way they voted, unfortunately.
Personally, she told me the night of the finale. She told me that she voted. Sorry, Ewok. She told me she voted for you because she was afraid you were not going to get any votes. So I don't know how true that is. I don't know if that was just she was telling that to me to make me feel okay, or if she like really thought you had a better game than I did. I don't know.
Yeah, I do recall her saying that.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
Okay, Trevor. What would Trevor have voted?
Vote for you.
Yes.
Yeah. For sure.
Justine.
Me.
Yeah. So you would have won 8-1, or no?
Okay.
Either 7-2 or 8-1. We don't know Nate's vote, but
okay.
I think Nate would have voted you there.
Yeah.
He didn't seem too fond of me in the little bit we saw from the round table. Okay, Ewok versus me. Ewok, what would Sabrina have voted?
She would have voted. I want to say me, but she would have voted for you.
Yeah, I would have voted for Nathan because like I thought we were tight final two.
You were wrong.
I was wrong.
Taimika, who would Taimika have voted?
Taimika would have voted. I don't know.
Oh wait, she said this, but maybe you weren't watching at the time.
Oh no, so she probably would have voted for you.
Yes, she would have voted for me. Jack, who would Jack have voted for?
Me?
Jack said he would vote for me.
Yeah, okay.
Matt, who would Matt have voted for?
I'd say me because it voted for me anyway.
Yes. Who would Jenna have voted for?
Me?
Yep, Jenna said you.
Okay.
I don't have Nate's vote. Ame, who would Ame have voted for?
I'm going to say me just because she did it anyway.
Mm-hmm. And then Trevor?
Okay. He probably would have voted for you.
Yes, Trevor would have voted for me. And then Justine.
I think she said during the round table she would have voted for me, so I'm going to say me.
Yeah, well, she said in the round table, and then when I asked her in her interview, she said me. So that's it's kind of like.
So who would win in that circumstance?
So it would be either from the votes I got post season anyway, either 5-4 or 6-3 in my favor. That being said, some of those votes were really in the air. I think Justine's was very much in the air, but it would have been. I think it would have been a much closer vote regardless. I like to think it means I would have won, but we know postseason it's not canon.
Don't we all, dear? Don't we all?
One can wish. One can dream.
I know. My girl has dreams.
What are y'all's social media handles to follow if you want people following you?
So on Instagram, you can find me at Adam Ewok. I think that's the majority of my tags are Adam Ewok.
Cool. And Sabrina?
Sabrina, you're muted.
Still muted.
Why am I muted? What is this?
I don't know.
Okay. What's happening in my social media?
Yeah.
Okay, on Instagram, I am Sabreezy2492. And then I think also maybe on Snapchat. Let me double check.
I'm just me.
Oh, I don't think people follow.
I want to say I'm the same username. Same username on Snapchat. Sabreezy, SABREEZY2492. Hit me up.
Do y'all have anything else for the good to close out our season?
Yes, I do actually. I want to say a huge thank you to, of course, all of our cast members, but like production put on a great time. Like that weekend was totally amazing. They literally let us live in their house for the weekend. Like, come on. And they gave us food for 2 nights. They let us have all the snacks we wanted in their house. We were allowed to bring whatever we wanted into their house, like with food and alcohol and whatever we felt like. Also, thank you for everybody who sent us food. My boyfriend and my friends sent me dinner one night, which was freaking amazing. And in the morning, Becca from season 6, I can't remember who else it was with her, somebody else from season 6, sent us.
Jalen.
Was it Jamie or Jalen? Sent us breakfast in the morning on Sunday. Like, everybody who supported us and watched the live feeds and came out to the finale that last day was just totally incredible. And the fact that people cared enough to be involved in this season and to show us love was amazing. And I'm so thankful and grateful for that entire weekend, because it was one of the most fun weekends of my entire life, and I will never forget it. And I'm so happy that it all happened. So thank you to everybody who was involved in it, because y'all are incredible.
Yeah, I want to 100% echo what Sabrina just said, because like in terms of the experience, right? Like I feel like this was the most unique experience I've ever had, where in the moment, I was the most humongous stress ball, the most miserable.
Yes.
I haven't eaten, I haven't slept.
Oh,
I can't think straight. I don't even know what's going on in my own head. But it was the most amazing experience, I think, of my entire life. Like, besides like getting married, I have never been more stressed and more happy to be in a situation in my entire life than what BBCOL gave to us.
Amen.
Yeah. It was a class act Big Brother experience. Like, production, y'all are amazing. Jason, kudos for getting these episodes edited, and like not just edited, but edited so well that it makes it so much fun to watch. And thank you to everyone tuning into AfterCol. If you're still watching right now, that y'all are the people
Super
that
fans.
Make up this community.
Super fans.
And make this so much fun to do, and I can't wait to see next season, whatever is in store for that. Yeah, it's awesome.
And if anybody who's watching who's not a production member or a previous cast member, please apply to the next season, because we're gonna have so much fun.
Yes.
Please apply.
You have to play. It's so good.
Please apply. It is so much freaking fun. Even if you're nervous or scared to apply, please do so. It is so much fun, and you're not gonna regret it. Like, totally go for it.
It is worth the weekend. It doesn't matter if you even go out early. It's still so much fun. You get to make friends that really stick with you.
Yes.
And that's really the best part of this.
So much fun.
This community that you get from even just spending a weekend with, 13 random strangers.
Yes, total strangers, but like I have talked to every single person since this game has ended, and it's been over 6 months. And like, I can't believe that, and that is super cool to me, because I love getting the chance to meet new people and having new friendships and new experiences, and the fact that we're all still talking and we're all still cool with each other. I mean, despite things happen in the game, it is a game, and I think we all recognize that. And so I'm very glad that we're all just want to be friends and have fun with each other. So like, I love it. I'm very, very glad.
Yeah. Well, thank you both for coming on with me. Oh, stop something.
No, I'm here.
No, we're good.
I may have stopped the stream.
I don't know.
Oops. Okay. Well, I'm going to stop it now. Thank you all. Have a good night. Bye.